Welcome, y'all. It's my favorite podcaster, Donna D, and the Urban Mommy Podcast. Make sure y'all subscribe and share. Tell a friend and hit that bell to keep up with the latest updates, because you don't want to miss what my girl got to say. I'm just saying. The Urban Mommy Podcast. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. This is your girl, Donna D, aka the Urban Mommy, and I am back with another podcast. I know I look like I got in a fight, but I didn't. I promise. I have a little pimple and I have a skin tag, so that's where all these band-aids are coming from. But today, I am joined with Judith, and we are going to be talking about one of my favorite places to visit, and that is France. Welcome.
Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Okay, so can you start off by introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name is Judith Keys and I live in France. I've been here for 10 years now. I'm originally from Ireland, from Northern Ireland. Um, so yeah, I moved here 10 years ago and I started various different businesses. When I first came, I wasn't sure what to do, and then I decided whenever my youngest was tiny, he was, in fact, when I was pregnant with him, I decided to start my food in France, which is my new business. So, yeah, very excited about that. And yeah, been here 10 years, like just over 10 years.
Okay. So that kind of takes a lot of courage to just get up and move to another country. How was that process?
Yeah, I would love to say that I had planned it really carefully, Donna, but I didn't. um, what actually happened was I did have some family here already, so it was an easier choice. I had a buffer
Hmm.
here already, and I was actually the last one to come. So I was in my job I lived in Scotland at the time, and I was doing all the things that you're meant to do. I was in my 9 to 5. I'd been in that job for 8 years, and I thought, right, I better buy a house. I must buy a house. That's what everybody does. Need to do all these things the way you're meant to do them. And when I bought my house after a few weeks, a few months, I was like, this is awful. This is not what I want out of my life. I don't want to just be the same as everybody else. I want to change. I want to do something different. So yeah, I sold my house and came here and thought I'll give it a shot. So
So it was just you and the babies?
well, I didn't have my kids at that time. I just came
Oh,
here on my own. Yeah, I
oh
came here
wow.
on my own and I met a lovely Frenchman and yeah, the rest's history, as they say.
Okay, that's nice. So what was it about France that first got your attention? I mean, I know you say you have family, but
Mm.
I mean, you have family in Ireland as well. So what made you decide to stick with France?
So I have always loved the French language. I definitely think the creative side of me loves the French language, liked French music, loved the whole culture and the romance of France, and just the food was one of the things that you always hear about from, you just hear about the French food and cuisine and chefs, and it was always this sort of romantic ideal thing. And when I had the chance to come, the weather obviously is a big factor. Where I'm from in Northern Ireland, the weather's awful. It just rains a lot. So it was just, there was that pull as well, just to give it a shot. And because I've spoke French already, my degree's in French, that did help a little bit as well, Donna. It was good for me to, I knew I had a base, at least in the language. I could make myself understood.
Okay. Do your kids speak French as well?
Yeah, so my kids are bilingual, so they speak both languages. I mean, my littlest one, Finn, he's only 2, so but he does say quite a lot of words in French and English. Yeah, it's amazing.
Okay. So what part of France are you in?
I am in the southeast, so I don't know if you know Avignon. There's quite a famous song about the bridge in Avignon that so I'm down here, yeah, in the southeast. It's just such a beautiful part of the world.
Okay. Nice. So I visited France a couple of years ago, And I went to Paris, and it was actually on Bastille Day, so I had a really nice time. I got to see
Wow,
the
that would have been
fireworks.
amazing.
Yes, the fireworks. We got to see a riot. It was fun.
Oh no.
Yeah, we got to see like a riot. Like they were on the Champs Elysees, and they were like trying to bust windows, and I think it's called the yellow shirts or something.
Oh, the
Um,
Gilets jaunes, yeah.
yeah, so we
Oh, they knocking
saw
down
like
those
the
stores
police
over
come out
there.
with their full armor. I mean, we were kind
They
of
about to
excited.
break
We were
those
like
stores.
taking pictures
Oh
and
shit.
stuff like that. It was pretty
Oh, let me
cool.
get the.
We
So
went
what?
and actually we took part in the Gilets jaunes protest in our local town. It was nowhere near as crazy as that because I live in quite a small, like
Mhm.
quiet area.
Mhm.
But we took part in it and went with our yellow jackets and protested as
Yeah.
well. Yeah, it's quite important
Yeah.
issues. Mm.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. And I mean, I mean, I don't say I always, but I admire that because I was talking because I didn't know anything about it, but I was speaking with somebody, and they told me, that's kind of what they do. They stand up for different things that's going on. So I said, this is
Mm.
interesting. I liked it. Um, and I think like the police didn't have any weapons,
No,
just those little sticks. I was like, wow,
I know,
this is
I
nice.
know. Yeah,
This
it
is
makes a
different.
change. Yeah, I'm from Northern Ireland, so we had conflict most
Yeah.
of my childhood, and we were used to, yeah, army men with
Hmm.
enormous
Huge
weapons
gun.
and things.
Yeah.
It's horrible. So yes, so it makes a change here.
Right. Okay. So, what is your favorite dish?
Oh, good question, Donna. So many favorite dishes. What have I've just made actually tonight there because it's the evening time here. I've just had dinner and I made what is called a tartiflette. So maybe you had some when you were in France, Donna. I don't know. It's cheese, potatoes, onion, bacon,
Mm.
cream, some white wine. And then, in fact, what you do then is instead of grating cheese on top, you take what's called it's a reblochon cheese, and it's
Mhm.
a round cheese. It looks a bit like a brie or a
Mhm.
camembert, and
Mhm.
you cut it this way horizontally,
Mhm.
and then you put that on top you put the two halves on top of the potatoes and the onions and the bacon, and then you put the whole thing in the oven. And when
Mm.
you take it out, you just have two big bubbly cheese things
Oh
on
wow.
top. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah.
I love cheese. That might be good, but surprisingly, and everybody always teases me, but when I went to France, I think I only went like my family did, but I didn't. I only went to one actual French restaurant.
Why?
I don't know. I was scared. Like I literally ate. Like if you look at my pictures, you'll be like, "Girl, are you serious?" I had what's that? Five Guys,
Yeah.
Shake Shack. I even had Burger King.
Why did you not try some more French food? What did you get at the French restaurant, Donna? What did you get at the French
What
one?
did I get? I'm gonna have to look at my. I'm gonna look through my pictures and see what I got. I don't even remember, but I know they were trying to get us to eat escargot.
I was just about to say, did you have snails?
I think I probably took a little bitty piece. In fact, when I do the video, I'm gonna add my picture so they can see it. But it was right near the Eiffel Tower. I
Yeah.
can't think of the name of it right now, but yeah, I mean it was okay. I think it was something basic. I probably had chicken and fries or something.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
like to
they
try
do
too much.
really good. They do really good chicken. Um, but not spicy. I just said that to my husband before
Mhm.
I came up because I made the tartiflette tonight, but I also made a beef ramen for the kids. And
Mm.
I followed a French recipe, and I don't know why I did it because they're not great with spicy flavors. They're really good at French cuisine, but
Mhm.
they're not very good at cuisines from other countries. So I should have followed
Mhm.
a different recipe, but I thought I'll try this one. It was in a French magazine, and there's just not much taste to it at all. So we were adding chili at the table, we were adding extra soy sauce, extra stuff, into it, and like putting spring onions on to try and get some flavor because yeah, they're just so used to their own way of cooking, and a lot of
Mhm.
it is. So for example, snails, when you were going to have snails in Paris, a lot of the time it's the sauce that comes with it. So there'll be, like a really garlicky parsley sauce with it, and that's all you're tasting because the snails don't actually have any taste. They're just like
Right.
rubbery. Oh, I do not like them. It's just a sauce thing, so yeah.
So, I mean, I eat oysters, so I guess it's similar. Do you eat
Oh, I
oysters?
can't eat oysters. No, I have tried. Oh, no, I can't. I don't. No.
No, I don't eat raw oysters. I eat them char grilled, but I
Yeah,
guess a snail is pretty much the same thing, but it's just the thought. I was like, I couldn't eat it. I
I
couldn't
know.
eat it. Even when I was in London, I don't think I ate. I did have some fish and chips, but I don't think I ate anything that was specific to the area as well. I'm
Fish and
not.
chips is very UK. I mean, that you can't
Yes,
get much more. That is one of the classic dishes.
right. But the UK isn't really known for food anyway, so.
No, although it's definitely getting much better. So that's the only thing I would say about French food. So it's such an amazing cuisine, and I love cooking French food. I love
Mhm,
eating French food, but they are not very adventurous when it comes to food from other places. It's such a
mhm.
massive country. They love French food, and they're very protective of it and
Yeah.
how you cook it. And most French restaurants will only do the same things all the time. Whereas when I go home to the UK, I eat Mexican, I eat Indian food,
Mhm,
I eat Caribbean food, I eat
mhm,
Chinese food. There's food from everywhere, Lebanese. It's just because it's such a small little island and people have come from all over the world, you
mhm.
can get so many different types of food. So that's what I love about the UK is the choice. So
Yeah.
okay, they're not really known for UK food, but you can
Mhm.
get food from anywhere, and I love that. That is missing for me here in France. Although maybe in Paris, I'm sure in Paris you'd find lots of different cuisines. But yeah, where I am in the middle of nowhere here in the south, no.
Okay. So, I mean, how was the weather now?
The weather's cold, so in the summer it's really hot, but in the winter it's cold. So, I mean, I don't know in Fahrenheit, but it's meant to get down to -6 Celsius this weekend. So I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit, but yeah, it's meant to be really, really freezing this weekend.
Sounds cold.
Yeah. So, and it will be like that, until March, April time. But, we do have a proper winter, which I like, and we have a proper summer. Really,
Hmm.
really hot. Love
Yeah,
it.
it was hot when we came. But I guess hot to you all is not New Orleans. I'm in New Orleans, so it's not New Orleans hot because I want to say our hotel didn't even have a air condition because they're like, oh, it doesn't really get that hot. But the year I came was the year there was that heat wave.
Oh my goodness, no aircon. I couldn't cope with that. Do you have aircon in your home in New Orleans?
Yes,
Yeah.
we have it here, and I had to leave the last hotel I was at because when I was in France, well, no, that wasn't in France. I'm sorry, that was in London where we didn't
Mm,
have air because we had to go to a different hotel because my allergies started going crazy.
no way. Oh
Yes,
my goodness. Yeah, yeah.
yes,
Oh, I would love to visit New Orleans. I've read a lot about it and
hmm
just seems like one of the most amazing places. I'd love to come.
it is, and it's very, as you know, we're very French here. We have a lot of French and Spanish architecture, but it's actually really French here.
And was that one of the reasons you wanted to visit France?
Yes, I wanted to visit. Actually, I love London. London was probably, believe it or not, my favorite. I love London, so I
Yeah.
wanted, but then I wanted to also. My kids were in a French school, and my nieces as well. So
Wow.
they're actually, well, not my daughter because she doesn't go there anymore, but my nieces are fluent in French. So we wanted to, kind of up their experience and let them go to France.
And are their teachers French or are they American people who speak French or
They are French.
yeah,
Yes.
so they'll have the accent and everything. That's wonderful, isn't it? I love, yeah, having bilingual kids is
Yes.
gives them such a gift, doesn't it?
It does. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I think that's probably why I liked London better because they spoke English. Because when I was in France, like everything on TV was in French. I was like, is there not an American channel in here? And I
Yeah, I
think I might
know.
have
I know.
found one, but it definitely, it definitely pays to keep up with the to keep up with the
I
language.
know, and I found that here when I first moved here, it was really difficult for me because even though I spoke good French,
Mhm.
it wasn't enough to
Yeah.
live here, and to feel comfortable watching TV, like you say. Like I
Mhm.
didn't understand anything.
Mhm.
It's taken a long time. It took me really to have my kids. I was pregnant with my first baby, I sort of had to get over myself and just talk and stop being worried about making mistakes and
Mhm.
just go for it. And that really, really helped, I think. You have to just do it. I think trying to be perfect,
Mhm.
it's never gonna work. You just have to just go for it.
Do it. It's funny. My last name is actually Dugue, which is a
Jug.
French. It's a French name. So how do you say
Yeah.
it?
I would say jug.
You would say Dug, right?
Yeah.
But as a kid, like when we learned the pronunciation of our name, we were always told that it was a French name and that it's pronounced Dugue,
Ah, well, yes, there would be if
the
there were an
accent.
accent. So is there an
Yes,
accent on the E?
there is.
Well,
There's an
then you're
accent
right.
on
It
the
is.
E.
It's Jugi. Yeah, that's it.
But guess what? When my daughter went to the French school, they would call her douche. They would call her Jayla douche.
Oh,
So I was like, that's weird. So I have
well,
no idea
it's.
what my last name is.
I wonder. So it's Dugu, and then the E with the accent.
Hmm.
Then it's definitely Jugi because that word GUE is one that I see every single day when I go on a walk here, and that word "gay" is like a dip
Hmm.
in the land. So where I go for my walk, there's a little dip in the land, and there's a river that comes down there. And at the
Hmm.
minute, it's called the Passage du Gué. So it's called the passage of the dip in the land. And at the minute, because it's
Oh.
rained so much,
Hmm.
um, I have to go over it. I have to run over the water basically because there's a little stream coming down it at the minute because it's rained so
Mm.
much. And basically, the sign is up there to warn people that sometimes there's a little stream that comes down here because it's a gay, and it actually is called Passage du Gay. So I'm going to take a picture of that for you, Donna, and I'll send it to you.
Wow.
Uh,
Please.
that's what your surname means of
Okay.
the little dip in the land.
Ah, interesting. Okay, I like that. Okay, so tell us a little bit more about your company, My Food in France.
So, yes, what we do in My Food in France, I'm really excited about it because I'm just about to where I'm at the point of wanting to just concentrate on it completely. So I'm going to be getting some help in, and I'm very excited because we're going to be growing the membership. So I have a foodie membership, a cookery club, where people can join, and we do one cookery class every month. We do different cookery challenges in there, and it's mostly French food. Now, I called my company My Food in France because, like I said earlier, I love food from everywhere, and sometimes I do cook food from elsewhere. But I love French food, and I know how much people love and would love to learn how to make French cuisine. So I decided to create this membership. So we do a class every month. We talk about food all the time in the club, in the membership space. And it's only going to grow even more. I have so many ideas for it. And lots of things I want to do, which I'm keeping under my hat at the minute on this podcast. But yes, it's only going to get better. And the big dream I have, Donna, is to have people, if you want to come and visit the real Passage du Gay here, is to have
Hmm.
people come and do retreats here where I live. So get people to come for the week, and we'll cook some nice food together. We'll go and visit the local markets, try some French food. So you're gonna have to come, Donna, and I'm gonna cook you a nice French meal from scratch. I'll not make you eat snails though, don't worry. And yeah, so that would be the dream in the end, is to do retreats. But for the moment, yes, it's online. You can join me for a one-off cookery class as well. So every month in the membership we do a cookery class, but I also offer that out if anybody wants to come and just do a one-off cookery class with me and the group. You can come and join us, and then you get a free month in the membership, so you can come and see how everything works and what it looks like, and stay on if you want, or there's no obligation at all. You can have your free month and then leave. That's fine. There's also a full vault of all the recordings of all the previous classes.
Mm-hmm.
All my recipe cards, videos with local producers, that type of thing. So when you join the membership, you get access to all of those previous things and all the recipes. And I think my class I'm holding next week will be our 20th cookery class in the membership.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. I'm not sure if my face is off the screen, but that's because I was trying to get these pictures to show you.
Oh, I can't wait to see. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3. Add. Okay. So now it's loading.
Okay.
So when you're doing your cooking, with your, with the classes, how is it being received?
So at the moment, it's quite small, which I am really enjoying because I've got to sort of shape the membership the way I want to, but also by talking to the people who are in there at the minute, and I'm realizing, the type of things people want to make. It's helping me shape the membership for people coming in going forward. And when we do the classes together, I mean, I was a little bit apprehensive about doing classes online, especially cookery classes, because you're in your own space. We're not all together. I can't show you really perfectly what to do. But it's
Mhm.
unbelievable, Donna, how well it works and like how fun it is. We're all together, we're all cooking, we're chatting away to each other. And then we
Mhm.
all have like this amazing dish or meal. Sometimes we do a couple of dishes. Um at the end, and then we all go off and eat our lovely food, and people post pictures of what they've made in the group and things. And the connection that I've got with the people who are in there is fantastic. And that's one of my most important things as well to talk about, I think, is the connection we can all have through food. Like talking about it, we
Mhm.
all eat every day. We have to sit down at the table together and eat, especially in France. My husband's French. He will not sit on the sofa to eat. He will not do
Mm.
it. He can't do it. We sit at the table every single meal. So
Wow.
I love that, and the connection that we have with the family through food is really important.
That's good. Especially with the table thing. We talk about that because here in America, since I guess the invention of the microwave, that took away a lot of family time because
Mm,
people would eat when they wanted to eat, as opposed to when mom is cooking over the stove and she gives it to you when it's hot. You better eat it when it's hot, or then that's it.
yeah,
But because we're kind of losing a lot of family time with the microwave and taking away that stuff, so that's pretty good that your husband wants to only eat at the table. That's a good thing.
yeah. He literally can't eat on the sofa. He gets all funny about it, and he's like,
Mm.
"No, I can't do it." He can't sort of get himself comfortable or something. I don't know. It's so
Hmm.
funny.
All right, so look, I have this. All right, can you see that?
Yeah, the
All right, so
Trocadero. Yeah,
yes, that was chicken and fries. I think that was probably for my son.
yeah.
I believe this was my meal. I did
That's a
have
steak,
steak.
a good steak.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I guess some fries and a tomato looks like. I guess that's salad and
Oh.
the wonderful, wonderful. And I think I did take a piece, but I see now when you were talking about the sauce, I see the green on it.
I mean, that is just pure, yeah, butter, parsley, garlic.
Okay.
So it's the same if you ever order frog's legs. You
Mm-hmm.
don't get much taste of frog's legs because they just are absolutely swimming in buttery, garlicky sauce. I mean, they're delicious because, they're
Yeah.
fried and then you're just eating them just with all
Yeah.
that nice sauce. So yeah, it's just
Yeah. And
getting
that's
over the head thing about it, I think,
mm,
psychological side of it.
yes, and I mean that's how oysters are because they add the garlic and the butter and the
Yeah,
cheese. It's all of that. That's why I don't eat it raw because they don't add all of that. I think they put a little hot sauce on it or something, but yeah,
I know. Oh, I
it's
can't. I
funny.
have tried. I have tried.
So, do you miss your food from Ireland at any point?
Yeah, and actually, we haven't been home. I haven't been back to Ireland since before the pandemic. So we went back in February 2020,
Hmm.
just before everything kicked off. So I have not been back since, and it's been really hard, Donna. Yeah, because whilst I love my life here and I love the food here and everything, I really miss
Mhm.
just there's certain things I can get back home that they just don't do here.
Mhm.
And I can't wait. We're going back in December for a week. Not over Christmas, just before Christmas for a week. So I'm gonna get to see my mum who's back in Ireland. She hasn't met my smallest little boy yet,
Oh.
so she's gonna get to see him and yeah, I'm gonna go and eat all the food for a week. Can't wait.
So, what is Ireland known for food wise?
So we are obviously potatoes, our big
Mhm.
thing. That was our staple. So other countries, it's things like bread or
Mhm.
pasta or noodles or whatever, the carb is
Mhm.
from where you're from. In
Mhm.
Ireland, it was potatoes, and still is a lot of potatoes everywhere. So yes, so there's lots of different variations on that. Um, Things like stews, so
Mhm.
lamb stew, there's Irish stew is really famous. It's one of our staple things. So it's either lamb or beef, in a really just nice gravy sauce with usually served with potatoes, sometimes carrots in it. Um, and what else are we known for? Nice breads as well. So there's a special bread that I would make here in the morning sometimes for the kids. It's called soda bread. And you don't need yeast and you don't need to leave it for hours to rise.
Mhm.
You just make it with a little bit of buttermilk and some bicarbonate of soda.
Mhm.
And it's the bicarb and the acidic acid that's in the buttermilk that makes
Mhm.
the rise happen really quickly.
Mhm.
So you little patties of that and do it in the pan, and they just you know, it's so nice. So that's something that I can't wait to have at home when I go back, and I don't have to make it myself. I can just go and get it, and just lots of cakes and things like every country has their own sweet treats
Mhm.
and sweet things that they make really well. So obviously in France it's pâtisserie and you have the chocolate eclairs and all those things,
Mhm.
millefeuille. In Ireland, you, it's just very different. There's a lot more things like loaf cakes and
Mhm.
um, tray bakes. I don't know if in America you would call it a tray bake. I think a tray bake in America is like a cake that is baked in the oven, but a tray bake for me would be something like Rocky Road. I don't know if you know where you just mix a lot of ingredients together, usually with chocolate in there, and then put it
Mm.
in the fridge, and
Yeah,
then you can
we do
cut it.
have a cake like that, but I can't think of the name of it.
So there's loads of things like that that are made in like a sort of oblong dish, and
Mhm.
instead of it being baked, it's done. Yeah, it's cooled and then it's sets in the fridge. There's
Mhm.
lots of things like that that I really miss. Things that my grandmother would have made when I was a kid, um, like that. So I can't wait. I'm gonna eat constantly when I'm back.
Do you feed your husband and your kids Irish food
Yeah, and
a
they
lot?
love it, Donna. They love it. And my husband, you know, he was a little bit like a lot of people sort of have this opinion about the UK and Ireland, like they're not really very known for their food, and it's true. But I suppose, introduced to Pierre, my husband, lots of food from everywhere because I was used to that growing up in Ireland. I know, I make Chinese food for him. I made the beef
Mm.
ramen tonight. I'll make Mexican food. I'll go and find the ingredients here that are sometimes quite hard to find, and I'll
Yeah.
make him lots of things that he's not used to. So they're not necessarily Irish or
Mhm.
British, but um they're things from everywhere. So he has definitely widened his horizons when it comes to food. Yeah, because he was very
Yeah.
see that steak and chips that you had in
Mhm.
Paris? That would be his perfect meal.
Right. That's really.
Yeah, probably with some oysters to start as well. He loves oysters.
Oh yeah. Well, he would probably lose his mind in New Orleans. All the different cuisine we have, and it's so rich in flavor and everything.
Oh god. Oh yes. Now that is something that I would love to come for is it jambalaya that you know for that type of
Yeah.
thing? With gumbo and
Jambalaya.
lots of like oh.
On my page, I have something called crawfish bread, which is really good. I mean, we have all these fattening foods, but it's really good. It's like bread, but on top of it, you put this crawfish sauce kind of thing. It's super good. You bake it with cheese. It's
Oh
really
my
good.
god. Oh
Yeah,
my
it's a lot of
god.
good
That sounds
foods. Yeah, it's so
amazing.
many,
Because
so
I've
many.
watched a whole lot of foodie shows on Netflix, and a lot of the time they're in New Orleans and trying amazing food, gorgeous fried chicken with like
Hmm.
my thing that I tried to make recently, and I don't know if I did it very well, but it was a fried chicken thighs. So you coat them in the buttermilk and the flour, and then into the fryer, and then with like a really sweet sticky sauce, and then
Hmm.
the coleslaw, and then just in a big bun. And oh my god, it was so, so good. But yeah, with corn on the side. I've done cornbread before. I don't
Hmm.
use enough shellfish. I really should get better with making things with shellfish. I'm not a
Hmm.
massive fan of seafood, so
Okay.
I don't do it as much as I should because I am getting better at it, and my kids love it. My eldest, he's 6, and his favorite thing at the restaurant in France, if it's on the menu, are tentacles. What do we call that in English? So in French, it's tentacule. So big squid or octopus tentacles,
Mm.
like fried up, and they're all crispy. And he would sit and eat that all day.
Really?
It's amazing. It amazes me because I'm like, I don't know if I could eat that.
Yeah, he's a little
And
brave thing, huh?
he doesn't even think about which I love. I think when you're a kid,
Yeah,
you probably don't think too much about it, and I try and not tell him too
yeah.
much, or don't say, "Oh, that's gross," or whatever. I just want him to eat whatever he wants, whatever looks appetizing to him.
Do y'all have beignets there?
Beignet. So yeah. Now, what would a beignet be here? Yeah, so they do because they now call things donuts here with a French accent. So it's a donut. But beignet, yes, you do get them here. Yeah, you do.
You
If
know
it's
what?
the same thing, it is a sweet thing here. Is beignet for you a sweet thing?
It is. Now let me
Yeah.
make you laugh. I said beignet. You said y'all say donut. Let me tell you what they tell us here. We have donuts. Those are the circle things, of course, that you fry. But they tell us that a beignet is a French donut.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. But now they're saying donuts here. Les
Okay.
donuts. So they say
A
les donuts,
donut.
and they say it, yeah, with a French accent. But yes, les beignets would be. And you can also say, so anything that's deep fried, really, they would say, for example, beignet de crevette. And crevette is prawn.
Mm.
So, like deep fried in a batter, you would call that beignet. They would say that as well. So anything that's sort of deep fried in a batter. So beignet de crevette, beignet de calamar, so that would be calamari. So it's not just the donuts, it's anything, yeah, that's deep fried in a batter, really, you would say a beignet.
Okay. Also, I noticed that France is kind of getting big on the health kick. So I see they are banning a lot of products. They're banning a lot of sweet cereals. Even when I was there, I would get a Coke, and I forgot it says something different on a Coke, but it was different products that they use inside. So when you're doing your cooking, is the food like kind of healthy?
Well, I don't know about additives and things like that. I know there's lots of different ingredients in American products that we don't get in the UK. I don't know if it's the same here in France. Maybe from what you're saying, that must be the case. Yeah, there's different things that are allowed
Hmm.
in the States that wouldn't be allowed here or the UK. Um, what I do know, Donna, for sure, is that most people cook from scratch here. And I know that's probably starting to change, and it's
Hmm.
probably very different in big cities. Again, you have to remember I live in the sticks, so
Hmm.
very much, you know, it's going to be different. But most French people that I know do a lot of cooking from scratch. So my husband's family, his mum, every time I'm at his parents' house, his mum is sitting at the table preparing vegetables, the whole
Hmm.
time. She's just constantly got a table full of vegetables, preparing stuff.
Hmm.
And it takes ages to do it. It takes a long time. And that I've just learned. I mean, I would have done that quite a lot myself anyway, but I think it's a much healthier way of living to cook from scratch. There's
Hmm.
still a lot of little, there's all our local markets every day. There's a different local farmers market you can go to that are every single week throughout the year, where you can get all your fresh fruit and vegetables, and very seasonal. So, you can't, there's certain things you just can't get in the winter. You can't get strawberries, where in the UK you can get strawberries any time of year, anytime. In France, you can't buy strawberries in the winter because they just don't grow them. So it's just unbelievable. It's brilliant.
I have a coworker, Maria, and she's from the UK, and she said that when she first moved, her dad came to visit, and he looked inside her kitchen and her cabinet and saw like all of the food, like in the, I guess you would say, the cupboard, and it
Yeah.
was a lot of food, and he was like, "Oh, I see why y'all so fat here. Why is there all this food?" So she was saying that in the
That was very
UK,
kind of him.
dads, they say
I know.
anything. So, um, the thing is, she said that in the UK they don't buy as much food as we do. They buy
Okay.
like what they need. Like, you, I guess maybe because they do it fresh, maybe, and we buy for a week or two, sometimes for a month. And I guess that's because we have a lot of
A lot of
processed
processed stuff.
food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think that's probably the case. I mean, I would like to try and be more organized and have stuff store cupboard ingredients all the
Mm-hmm.
time. Um, but I'm much more of a weekly shop type person, where I'll have a think about what I'm going to do for the week ahead. So in the membership, we had a month where we talked about that as well, in the cookery membership, where we talked about meal planning, talked about buying seasonal ingredients. That's another thing I really want to highlight going forward every month is, what are the seasonal ingredients where you are at the moment? What is fresh and available in abundance where you live right now? And what are the recipes you can make with that? So getting people to think more about what they can make and make it really easy. Like I am not remotely in judgment. Like, go and buy whatever you need to buy to get through the week if you have to. But also, seasonal cooking from scratch doesn't have to be hard. I have 2 kids, I've got my jobs, I've got my businesses. It's bonkers here a lot of the time, but I actually sitting down to cook a meal, or standing up to cook a meal, I should say, it's a nice part of my day now. I try and make it a good time, a sort of chill out time. Preparing something really nice and then giving it to my family feels lovely, rather than just opening a packet or ordering something or whatever. I think if you can try and see it in a slightly different way of, it's more nourishing, it's more, there aren't all those weird ingredients that we don't know what they are. You're holding the tomato in front of you and you know what's
Mm-hmm.
there. Although maybe it's got pesticides, I don't
Right.
know.
Okay. So if you could bring one thing, doesn't have to be a food, but if you could bring one thing from Ireland to France, what would you bring?
I'd bring proper bacon, Donna. Proper bacon. So obviously they have pigs here, but the bacon's just so different. The meat's really different. We do different cuts.
Mm,
And the bacon that I love from home are quite thick rashers,
mm,
with good meat on it. And here it quite often it's what's it called? I can't remember the name, but they're very thin little rashers, just with quite a streaky bacon it is here you get. Just
mm.
quite a lot of fat, and they're really thin. And when you cook them, it just goes to nothing. There's no,
Yeah.
I want quite thick rashers for a proper bacon sandwich. So yeah, I'd probably bring good smoked Irish smoked back bacon with me.
Okay. Okay. So as we get to the end of the podcast, I always ask every guest a question. And that question is, if you could go back and talk to 17-year-old Judith and just talk to her about life, what would you tell her?
I would tell her to stop worrying what everybody else thinks and to go with your gut, go with what you love, because food and connection has been something that's been important to me since I was a kid. I cooked with my grandmother as a little girl with her. Um, that was something that I loved to do. And here I am, however many years later, I don't want to think what's 42 minus 17. I can't think of what that is, but
Mhm,
um,
mhm,
I I would just love to say to her, like, concentrate on what you love. You don't need to go and off and do all these things that people tell you to do. Just,
Hmm.
stick to your gut, listen to it, and that'll help you make the right choices. And it'll all work out in the end.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, can you tell everybody how they can follow you, keep up with you, how they can join the group if needed?
Of course, come and find me at My Food in France over on Facebook. That's my Facebook group. You can also just go to myfoodinfrance.com. I do have a podcast all about life in France as well. It's called My Best Friend in France. So you can come and listen to me talk about life and food and lots of things to do with life in France over on the My Best Friend in France podcast. But yeah, come and join us in the free My Food in France group on Facebook. That's probably the best place. And then if you want to check out the membership, I post about it in there anyway. So, or go to myfoodinfrance.com.
Okay, perfect. All right, so this is the end. Thank you so much, Judith. I really enjoyed your conversation. It was very interesting. Like I said, I love France. I love
I
Europe.
love talking with you too, Donna. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, I know y'all don't have Thanksgiving, so I can't say Happy Thanksgiving to you, but
Oh,
have
yes,
a great.
today. Is it not today?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow. So I'm gonna get back to cooking. Well, I'm not really cooking. I'm watching my sister cook, but
Can you just before we go, could you tell me what you're having so I can live
yes.
vicariously through you, Donna?
Yeah, so we're gonna have smoked turkey, fried turkey, and we have ham. We have gumbo, which you have to have. We have
Oh,
jambalaya, mac and cheese, baked mac and cheese. My favorite is bell peppers and militon. I think it's militon in French. We have militon as stuffed, sweet potatoes. I mean, I can go on and on. You know that song, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, chicken. Yeah, so we have so many. I'm gonna post a picture and I'll let you see. We're gonna have so much food tomorrow. So
oh,
much.
please do. That is one of my dreams, Donna, is to come for a proper Thanksgiving meal in America because I see it. I've seen it all my life on TV programs from the States, but I've never visited, and it just always looks like such an amazing spread. So I wish you the most beautiful meal tomorrow with your family.
Yes, thank you so much. And remember, if you come here, you better stop and see me.
I will. You come back here as well to France, and I'll cook you up a nice meal.
Perfect. Good. Thank you so
Bye,
much, Judith.
Donna. Thank
All right.
you.
All right. See you all next week. Bye bye.
Bye.